from billionaire to burger flipper, but this was no ordinary shift at McDonald's. When Donald Trump walked into a Yonkers restaurant and donned a McDonald's uniform, no one expected what happened next. Through tears, triumphs, and countless Big Macs, he transformed not just a workday, but an entire community. This is the incredible true story of how one shift at McDonald's became a masterclass in humanity. The morning rush at the Yonkers McDonald's started like any other. The hiss of coffee machines, the sizzle of griddles, and the steady stream of bleary-eyed commuters seeking their breakfast fix. Sarah Chen, the 19-year-old shift manager, was dealing with a particularly hectic morning when her district manager called with cryptic instructions. Expect a special guest worker today. Keep things normal. Normal flew out the window at 10:30 a.m. when a familiar figure in a navy suit walked through the door. Secret Service agents discreetly positioned nearby. Donald Trump, dressed in a crisp white McDonald's uniform over his suit, complete with a name tag reading Don, stood before the stunned staff. "I heard you could use an extra pair of hands," he said, directing his signature smile at the overwhelmed crew. "Where do you need me?" The restaurant fell silent. Customers froze mid-bite. Someone's coffee cup clattered to the floor, but it was Miguel Ramirez, the veteran grill cook of 15 years, who broke the ice. "Sir, if you're serious, we could use help on the register. It's our busiest time." What followed was 3 hours that the Yonkers McDonald's crew would never forget. Trump stationed himself at Register 3, initially fumbling with the touchscreen while Sarah patiently showed him the ropes. His first customer, an elderly woman named Dorothy, didn't even look up from her purse as she ordered. "Welcome to McDonald's. What can I get for you today?" Trump asked, causing Dorothy to drop her glasses in shock. As word spread through social media, the restaurant became packed, not just with people seeking photos, but with curious onlookers wanting to see how the former president would handle a real working shift. What they witnessed surprised many. He struggled with the drink machine, accidentally spraying himself with Diet Coke. He memorized the menu with remarkable speed, but still confused quarter-pounders with Big Macs. When a young mother with 3 restless children came through his line, short $2 for their order, he quietly paid the difference from his own wallet. The most touching moment came when James Wilson, a Vietnam veteran wearing his old service cap, came in for his daily coffee. Trump not only comped his meal, but spent 10 minutes listening to his story about serving in Da Nang, holding up the line while James shared photographs of his grandchildren. "Sir, we need to keep the line moving," Sarah gently reminded him. "Sometimes," Trump replied, loud enough for everyone to hear, "the most important business is taking time to listen." The kitchen staff, initially skeptical, warmed to their famous temporary co-worker when he insisted on taking his break in the crew room, sharing stories and asking about their lives. Maria Gonzalez, who had worked there for 20 years, told him about her daughter's dreams of medical school. By the end of his shift, he had written down several names and promises to help. But it was Tommy, the 16-year-old working his first job, who perhaps best captured the day's significance. During a quiet moment, Trump asked him how he liked working at McDonald's. "It's hard work," Tommy admitted. "Some people look down on it, but my mom says any honest work is good work if you do it well." Trump nodded thoughtfully. "Your mom is very wise. I've built towers and run companies, but you know what? The principles are the same. Show up, work hard, treat people right. Never let anyone tell you this work isn't important." As his shift ended, Trump had served 147 customers, made countless mistakes that his patient coworkers helped correct, and left an indelible mark on the Yonkers McDonald's. But before leaving, he gathered the staff for a final word. "Today wasn't about publicity," he said, his voice carrying a rare note of humility. "It was about understanding. Every job matters, every worker matters, and sometimes the best way to understand is to walk in someone else's shoes, or in this case, their non-slip work boots." He left each employee with a personal note and a promise to remember their names and stories. The next day, the restaurant received a delivery: new break room furniture and a college fund set up for employees' children. Months later, Sarah Chen would reflect on that day in a local newspaper interview. "People expected it to be a publicity stunt, but what we got was a lesson in dignity. He wasn't there to show off. He was there to learn, to understand, to connect. And maybe that's what we all need more of these days." The golden arches of the Yonkers. McDonald's still shine the same as always, But something changed that day. A reminder that sometimes the most powerful moments happen not in grand gestures, but in small acts of understanding, in the willing humility to learn, and in the simple dignity of work well done. And on the crew room wall, next to the Employee of the Month photos, hangs a framed McDonald's name tag that simply reads Don. A reminder that sometimes the most presidential acts happen far from the halls of power, under the warm glow of heat lamps and the sizzle of French fries. What touched the staff most wasn't the publicity or even the financial help. It was the moments between the headlines, the quiet acts of understanding that no camera captured. During the lunch rush, a young mother struggled through the door with a child in a wheelchair. Before anyone could react, Trump stepped away from the register, held the door, and helped her navigate to a table. The child, a 12-year-old boy named Peter, lit up with recognition. You're... Peter stammered, his medical bracelet glinting under the fluorescent lights. Right now, I'm just Don from McDonald's, Trump replied, kneeling despite his expensive suit to meet Peter at eye level. And I'd love to know what you'd like for lunch. When Trump learned that Peter was receiving treatment at the nearby children's hospital, he sat with the family during his break. The cameras missed how he quietly wrote down the details of Peter's medical bills, or how he later arranged for the family to receive specialized care at the best facilities. Later, an elderly couple came in, counting change for a shared meal. Margaret and Harold, married 52 years, were living on a fixed income. Without fanfare, Trump not only covered their meal but sat with them, listening to their story of struggling with prescription costs and a leaking roof. Sometimes I feel invisible, Margaret confided, her weathered hands wrapped around a coffee cup. Like the world's moved on and forgotten about folks like us. Trump's eyes softened. No one should feel invisible, he said, writing down their address. The following week, their roof would be repaired, and a year's worth of prescriptions would be prepaid, though they never knew who arranged it. The kitchen staff witnessed another side of him. During a quiet moment, Maria Gonzalez broke down in tears, sharing how she worked 3 jobs to support her children after losing her husband. Trump listened, not as a politician or businessman, but as a human being. He asked about her children's dreams, their struggles, their hopes. Your strength is incredible, he told her in Spanish, surprising everyone. But you don't have to carry this alone anymore. By day's end, Maria's children had college funds, and she had a better-paying job at one of his companies, though she chose to keep working some shifts at McDonald's, saying the restaurant had become family. Tommy, the teenage worker, revealed his own struggles with bullying at school. Trump shared his own experiences with public criticism, offering not just sympathy but strength. What matters isn't what they say about you, he advised, but what you know about yourself. The day's most powerful moment came when a homeless veteran wandered in, clearly hungry but embarrassed. Without hesitation, Trump not only served him personally, but sat down to share the meal. James, the veteran, didn't recognize him at first, just saw someone willing to listen. Their conversation revealed that James had fallen through gaps in the VA system. By evening, he had temporary housing and medical appointments scheduled. More importantly, he had his dignity restored. As the shift ended, Trump gathered everyone again, this time with tears in his eyes. Today, you've taught me more than I could ever teach you, he said. About dignity, about perseverance, about the quiet strength it takes to show up every day and do your best. This isn't just a restaurant. It's a place where life happens, where people's stories intersect, where community is built one smile, one meal, one moment of kindness at a time. The epilogue to this story continued long after the media attention faded. College funds were fulfilled, medical bills paid, homes repaired. But more importantly, a community was transformed. The Yonkers McDonald's became known as a place where kindness was served daily, where every person's story mattered. And in the years that followed, whenever someone would ask Sarah Chen about that remarkable day, she would smile and say, "We thought we were getting a publicity stunt. Instead, we got a lesson in humanity. Sometimes the most powerful thing isn't what you give, it's how you make people feel seen, heard, and valued." The golden arches still shine above Yonkers, but now they illuminate more than just a restaurant. They mark a place where hope was restored, dignity affirmed, and humanity recognized, all because someone chose to step behind a counter and truly see the people on the other side.